pretty big crew, too, an impressive crew that you're being honored with. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I mean, it's the company that I'm in, a chance to come back. I mean, I'm so proud of my roots in Southwick, Massachusetts, and all the experiences I had there growing up and playing high school basketball there. So this is a really nice event.
When you go back in time to when you were in high school, what did you learn most about it? What lessons from then do you maybe take with you now even still?
Well, it was really a different time in women's sports when I was in high school in the late 80s and early 90s. There was no WNBA. There was no professional sports in the United States in terms of team sports. So kind of what I learned is that you never know what can happen. You never know what opportunities are going to open themselves to you. And that's what's been amazing to me is when I was playing basketball at Southwick High School, I never would have thought that I would have been able to play professional basketball and now talk about college basketball because it's all over TV, because that wasn't a reality back when I was a kid. So, you never know the opportunities that are going to come.
You know, that and UConn specifically. I mean, people take UConn and it's like, oh, well, they've always been good. Hey, listen, they weren't always good, and you were a big part of when they first started to be good. How much pride do you take in that? And that decision to go there, you must think about a lot, too.
It was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life was choosing to go play basketball at UConn for Gina Auriemma. They hadn't won a national championship yet when I decided to go there, and I was part of the team that won the first one. And I don't think any of us would ever have expected that they would then go on to do what they've done, which has become the most significant program in the history of women's college basketball, and that Coach Auriemma would become, continues to be an active, living legend, the best coach to ever coach the game, comparable to John Wooden. I don't think any of us could have ever fathomed that would be a possibility, so I do take a lot of pride in that.
How do you weigh in on the topic that was discussed in March about, they need competition? The fact they don't have competition means that it's not good for the game. What's your thought on the fact that, UConn plays at such a high level that they're not always tested?
Obviously, I would love to see more close games that where Connecticut is involved, but I wouldn't want that to be because Connecticut's gotten worse. I would want that to be because all the other teams have gotten better. It's going to be a much more competitive women's college landscape this year. I mean, UConn last year, they had 3 players who went number 1, 2, and 3 in the WNBA draft. They were that much better than everyone. But is it bad for basketball? I think that's a little silly. If the Patriots go undefeated and beat everybody by more than a field goal, does that mean they're bad for football? I think it's a little bit of a ridiculous argument and probably one that you wouldn't be having if it involved men's sports.
All right, I got one last one for you, and it's about the anniversary. Think back 20 years. I mean, how much has changed in that time, and to be part of what was that first inaugural season and see what it's become?
In the WNBA, that's another thing. When I was a junior in college, I couldn't even conceive that there would be a WNBA because there wasn't even talk of it at that point. So the league has really come far in the last 20 years. The play on the court is so much better than it was 20 years ago. There's so many high-quality, wonderful basketball players in the WNBA now, and it's wonderful. I've got 4 children, and 3 of them are girls, and for me, I love the light that's in their eyes when they watch the women in the WNBA play, the opportunities that they see. I'm sure it's a pipe dream, but just maybe I'll be playing there too. So, the WNBA stands for so much, and I'm proud that I was a part of it for 7 years.